I figured it out. Sorry. On my Wave XLR thing, you can't see it. I did. Anyway, so what I was saying
Shit,
was,
did you start without me?
yeah, bro. I've been talking this whole time by myself.
Oh fuck. Anyway, never mind.
This is why I need a producer. Somebody be like, "Hey, guy, your sound is muted."
Hang on a sec. I've got to get Nick to catch up.
Nick, get Nick. Anyway, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, there we go. No, what I was saying was, so I wanted to talk about this this article from Vox. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I've read it. Oh god, it's full of crap, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and we are live, by the way. Sam.
Yep, doesn't matter.
Okay.
Nick's computer is updating at the moment. His bastard computer. Anyway.
Nick's computer is gonna take an hour.
He'll be along in a minute. He'll be along when he's along.
All right, what's up? I'll say hey to everybody. Let's see, Eric K, the common nerd. Let's see here, Sean, Sherry, and 30% of my audience is women. If you ever seen Street Smudge, I don't know how that is possible. Everyone letting me know I'm muted. E-Clay's here as well. Brahma Bull.
Hey Sean, how's it going?
And Vox.
Hey Wookie. Hey everyone, how's it going?
Oh, I still got that chat up. And George, as soon as he's done taking care of the coyotes, he'll be in here as well. So we may wait on him for this article because I got a couple other ones we could do as well. But you read the one that I sent, that I put in the back?
Yeah. I've read through it. Yeah.
It was great, right?
It was horseshit, is what it was. But yeah, I've read it. Yeah.
Did you read the? Did I put both of them in there? The other one about the Me Too thing?
I've only got the Vox one in the private chat.
Cool. Then we can do this one as well.
Yeah.
Actually,
asking about.
Hey
Nick, your mic's cutting out.
Criminy.
Actually, so I don't want to. I want to be able to highlight the chat, and I won't be able to do that if I'm scrolling the article too. So I guess put it in the back. We're gonna read this one while we wait on George. If somebody could.
So the
one I guess posted.
Yeah, this one, the Louis C.K. won't be cancelled. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yeah, we'll do that one while we wait. So I can keep an eye on the chat. Look at this. Everybody's here. Oh, hey, Tim. Darius. Did I say hi to Darius? Feel like I did. Anyway. People saying hi to Sam.
Hey, Darius. How's it going?
And yeah, so as soon as one of you guys could bring that up. Lost it. Oh, I don't know what that was. Regarding. And yeah, he is hunting. Apparently, he is hunting a coyote, maybe two, that are keeping him from being able to bring in or take out his dogs.
Hang on, I've never done the share screen thingy before, so.
What? Bro,
no, I've never done it before.
You press share. Hey, Courtney. You press share.
Yeah, I've got that.
How's everything standing on my end at the moment?
It's fine now.
Share screen.
Okay, well, let me do it, Sam, because I know how to do it.
Oh, I don't have two monitors.
He has to learn. And then you go to tab.
Yeah, we don't have that long.
Oh, just get Nick to do it, for God's sake. Never mind.
Oh man, I'm starting to think starting to think Sam was actually the evil one.
I am the evil one. Keep up.
Well, if y'all would wear that.
There we
go. Here we go. Perfect. All right. And I can read it because your accents will confuse people. All right. Recall the early days of, by the way, this is somebody named Kat Rosenfield. The Feminine Chaos Podcast. I'm going to write that one down. I want to check that one out.
She's going to be real fun at parties.
I pulled the hey. Yeah. It was like, yeah, she was like, hey, Matt, look, Matt. Recall the early days of the hashtag Me Too, the excitement, the promise, the sense of a tectonic shift, reshaping the culture from the roots. You guys remember that excitement when Me Too started? Hashtag.
No, because I was living under a rock.
Oh, I was like, oh man.
Well, read. I couldn't give less of a shit, but yeah.
Oh, I was like, oh no, I'm about to get me too'd at a very smaller level. Anyway, there was a time in the movement's first what does that say? FECUND. What Fecund?
Fecund.
Fecund?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see now.
It's
Fecund
like
months.
it means like fertile.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
When powerful men were falling like dominoes, it felt that I love the the enjoyment that you can see that she had in it.
She's definitely waxing lyrical, but yeah.
Right. It felt then like sweeping social change was finally here to stay, and like cancellation might actually be forever. Forever. Forever.
Why do people use like in the middle of
Nick,
a bloody sentence like that?
That's actually meant to be not the it's the other like. It's fine. It's fine.
Are you
where
sure?
It is. Yeah, I'm positive.
Well, I know which word I'm not going to say for the rest of the night. Scalps were being collected. Careers were being blown to smithereens. And the Harvey Weinsteins of the world, finally held to account for a lifetime of bad acts, were banished at last.
There's no need for
yeah, and then you feminists went ahead and ruined it.
Yeah, exactly.
If they weren't locked in a literal prison, they were at least locked out of polite society by the newly empowered activists who now guarded every door and held every key. Polite society. That sounds like polite society, right? People guarding the doors.
Sounds like a bunch of new Puritans and crypto fascists to me, but hey ho.
Oh man, Paul Rubin would at least use this theater. In all this, the fall of filmmaker and comedian Louis C.K. was a blockbuster moment. A blockbuster moment. The comedian's predilection for masturbating in front of his peers had been an open secret for ages. But now the tide seemed to be turning. A massive story. The New York Times alleged that he had harassed 5 women.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember hearing somewhere, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he actually get permission from these women before doing so?
Yeah, bro. You don't get.
I know it's still bloody off, but as far as I remember, he did get permission from these people.
Yeah,
and they, shall we say, bitched about it after the fact.
Well, yeah, because you just had somebody masturbate in front of you, but at least what. So here's what they say though, because of the power dynamic, right? Because he was in a position so much more powerful than what these women had. Therefore, basically, honestly, he murdered them.
Look, this is the problem that I have with a lot of radical feminists is that they believe of women that they have absolutely no agency to speak of. No agency.
That they're completely passive.
Yeah, no agency, that they are completely passive, that they have about as much influence as on the world as a cactus, and that's about it.
Strong disagree. What was that? Yeah. All right. So the response was outrage and, more importantly, consequences. Louis C.K. confessed, apologized, and dutifully vanished from public life for nearly a year. But it wasn't enough, was it?
Of course not.
Quote, "These stories are true,"
enough.
The comedian acknowledged in a statement. At the time, I said to myself that what I did was okay because I never showed a woman my dick without asking first, which is also true. But what I learned later in life, too late, is that when you have power over another person, asking them to look at your dick isn't a question. I feel like if you say, "Hey, you want to see my dick?" that has all the structure of it.
But I'm gonna quote Game of Thrones here. Power is a really awkward thing to deal with, and
yes,
power resides where people believe it resides.
True.
If you say you have no power, then frankly, you have no power.
Right.
These people are giving, or shall we say, these so-called victims are giving Louis C.K. the power, and quite willingly so. Right? If these people stood up for themselves and said no, right, then they probably wouldn't be in this mess. Now, I'm not victim blaming. I know people are victims, and I know shit does happen, and it's really unfortunate. But this is something completely different.
Well, what I don't understand is like, did we ever hear someone come out and say, "I said no to Louis C.K. and my career was ruined specifically because of him." He told
No, of
everybody
course not.
that I wouldn't let him, you know, jerk it in front of me, and and now I can't get any gigs. It's not because I'm a woman, I'm naturally not funny, but it's because I let him do that in front of me. No, no one ever came out and said that, right?
The key word there being let him do that in front of you. And the phrase I want to use is, sweetheart, why didn't you just say no?
Right, exactly. But the damage was not just reputational; it was quantifiable. His new movie, "I Love You, Daddy," was abruptly shelved, never to be released. His management company cut him loose. His contracts with FX and TBS were canceled. His past work was pulled from streaming services. Forbes estimated that the comedian's immediate losses counted in the tens of millions. Was it enough, though?
Yes.
Was
No,
it
of course
enough?
it wasn't. Nothing is ever enough with these people.
And that was
These
before.
people want blood.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And that was before you counted all the income he'd never make now that, as the writer boldly predicted, his career was permanent toast. Permanent toast. Wouldn't it be permanently toast? Toasted?
That would be better, yeah.
Not toasted. Anyway. It was
I
enough
wouldn't
to-
have used that phrase at all, but that's
No.
just me.
No, I'm not 7. It was enough to make even the most cool-headed feminists start to imagine a time, surely not too far off, when the movement would rise to absolute power.
There it is. They
And
said
the
the quiet part
patriarchy
out loud.
would lie in ruins to absolute power, not to a coexisting, equal level of power, but absolute.
Hey Zax, how's it going? It's not about equality with these people. It's about equity, i.e., you get what I think you deserve.
Yes.
Or rather, the person in power decides what other people deserve. It's not about actually, treating each other of equal value. It's about superiority. It's about getting revenge. It's all out of spite.
Yeah. It was
and you can feel the spite off of this article. It's just a black hole of smug.
It gets good though. I promise. It gets even better. But this week, Louis C.K. punched a Grammy-shaped hole right through that little fantasy by winning the music industry's biggest award for Best Comedy Album. Sincerely.
Hands up in the chat.
Louis
Does anyone actually give a fuck about the Grammys? Be honest.
No one does. No, we don't even need a poll for that. I answered for all of you guys. By the way, sincerely, I actually did see the special when it first came out. I thought it was great. It was the comedian's first release since 2017, when the story of his sexual misconduct broke. Oh, I started trying to scroll myself on the screen. At the time of its release, the reaction to the special was as much a microcosm of the divide between elite tastemakers and ordinary customers as it was a response to the content itself. Critics mainly complained that Louis C.K. didn't do enough to address and apologize for his inappropriate behavior. While those who...
For starters, it would never have been enough even if he had. So...
Right, well... Yeah. What's funny, though, is like, when you're reviewing something, what's great is when you're talking about things on the outside rather than what it is that you're actually supposed to be reviewing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the extra textual crap.
Mm-hmm. Like, at best, they'll be like, well, in a bubble, cut off from everything else, then maybe it would be funny. But we don't live in that world. We live in our real world.
See, Darius, I'm commenting on Darius in the chat here. The problem is, they say feminism is about equality, but the problem with the modern feminist movement is that it positions women as socially, economically, and politically inferior. So what it is to them is a game of catch-up. It's not actually about treating people equally and treating people decently. It's about getting their own back, getting revenge, and catching up, climbing the ladder, so to speak. It's not actually about treating people decently from jump. Yeah,
it goes into the whole equity idea.
Exactly.
Of like, hey, we're all trying to like, steal a baseball game by watching it, behind a fence, and we don't all have the same box, whatever.
We've all seen that meme. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Do go on. Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good. Let's see. While those who bought, laughed until they couldn't breathe. A reaction for which they too were mercilessly indicted. Indicted?
Indicted. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Slate's review of the special scolded that these jokes might have been funny if told by a less repulsive entertainer to a less repulsive audience, before condemning both Louis C.K. and his fans in a single breath. Quote, everyone involved in that transaction deserves one another, unquote.
Ooh, someone's salty.
Right? The idea of like, yeah, those jokes would be funny if it was, from somebody we approve of that said them.
Okay, where's What's-It from The Big Lebowski? That's like your opinion, man. And that's it.
That's
it. It's just an
why
opinion.
is it that these people don't hold the same view as, not same view, same standard when it comes to wanting to be included in movies and books and whatnot? I mean, just as for instance, they call Tolkien and his works racist and whatnot, and yet they can't get in there quick enough.
Yeah.
That's it.
They're
the
all
irony
now,
of it.
aren't they?
Yep, they're all up
irony.
in it.
They want to be included in a racist's work.
Apparently. Should I say allegedly?
Allegedly, yeah.
At the time of writing, the show's Rotten Tomato rating from viewers is a stellar 93%. And yet, those same tastemakers still manage to be shocked and to take it deeply personally. By the way, I love how like now she is like removing herself from these tastemakers as if she's not a part of that group.
It's not me who's saying this.
Yeah.
Yes, she has to drink a great big bottle of Coke. That's what she needs to do.
Well, so what she's doing though is like she's like, see me, I'm a unbiased observer looking from the outside. Forget those first 3 paragraphs that I wrote.
Anyway,
this is what we are now.
Dildo's got it right. How dare they like it? Basically, yeah.
Right, exactly. That's what it is.
This one here is Karening, basically. So,
quote: thanks so much to our industry for once again telling us that survivors don't matter. You survived. They're survivors.
Again, the use of that word. I don't like the use of that word.
Yeah.
Like, to me, survivor should really only be used in matters of, like battle and deadly stuff.
In extreme circumstances, absolutely.
Yeah, extreme circumstances.
But what this is an appeal to pity and emotion. That's what it is. She's trying to persuade and manipulate her audience, which is the whole point of the text.
I think the better word is victim. Victim is fine.
Is it though? Are they a victim for giving him permission to do what he did in front of them?
Look, if they said yes, that's on them. I'm sorry.
Right.
I know it sounds harsh, and I know I'm sounding like an arsehole, but if they said yes, it's on them. That's it. As women, you have agency. You have the ability to say no. Nobody is pointing a gun at your head. Right?
No way, bro. It was a comedic gun to their head.
Oh, please. Anyway.
When I think survivor, I think of someone just off the top of my head, like someone that, I don't know, was in war and like something got blown up and they were burned.
Yeah,
and
I think
escaped.
of Malala Yousafzai, who was shot in the fucking face.
Exactly.
Not these dickheads who are saying, "Ooh, someone flashed me. I'm so triggered."
To outraged critics, Louis C.K.'s comeback was like 5 years worth of progress undone. By
Thank
him
you,
coming
Darius.
back and
Much
undid
appreciated.
everything. If someone says you're a god, you say yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Ghostbusters. Bam. Nailed it. Yeah. But looking back, it's hard to believe we were ever so confident in our ability to permanently separate a massively successful entertainer from an audience that still clamored for his work.
So get over yourselves.
Yeah. Ah, damn. Like, why does this always happen? Like, we're like, no, you can't like him. And people are like, but we like him, but you're not allowed to anymore.
But this is a classic case of someone refusing to separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
And I'll admit that sometimes is easier said than done. I'll
True.
admit that. But unfortunately, shit happens.
Like I noticed like after the whole Weinstein thing, right? Every time like I would watch the movie and it would pop up like a Weinstein, I'm like, oh, well, that kind of feels like, you know what I mean? Hey Justin.
Yeah, I know what you
feels
mean.
like you
I know
shouldn't be
what you mean.
watching it.
Hey, Justin, how's it going?
Yeah, but I mean it got to a point to where I'm like, actually no, I'm gonna watch even more because, to go against the main well, it doesn't matter. Let's see here. Even when Louis C.K. began popping up at comedy clubs in late 2018, the response from media folks and comedy scene critics was a chorus of "too soons."
Because it would let's be honest, it would
I wish
always
people
be
would stop
too
using the
soon.
word
Yeah.
folks as well. It's so fucking
Yeah, like
off.
she didn't even do it correctly. It's supposed to be with an X.
Yeah.
As if their opinions mattered when audiences at these events greeted him with wild applause. How could they do that? Meanwhile, not only did those who'd canceled the comedian continue to act as if his redemption request was theirs to reject or approve, like he's not a part of it. They also adamantly refused to sketch out a framework for how a hashtag #MeToo'd man might return to normal life. See, so this is when it starts getting interesting, right? Because then you're like, oh, wait.
See, I mean, has everyone forgotten about Aziz Ansari, for example?
Oh,
I mean,
man.
all he had to do was go out on a bad date. That's it. The Me Too movement started off wonderful. It did some good things, but like most things, when taken over by radical extremists,
Women.
it goes to shit. And this is a perfect example of it going to shit.
Agreed. What was I? Yeah. When pressed, if not now, when? If not like this, then how? The answer was a shrug. Who knows? And more importantly, who cares? I think Louis C.K. cared.
Well, maybe if these quote unquote feminists actually, sat down and thought about what they wanted for a change
And
and
actually
how they were
establish
going
the
to
goal.
implement it, things might actually work instead of just, flapping their arms about and
Well-
screaming at the top of their
Well,
lungs.
they know what they want. Everything.
Well, that's precisely the problem I have as well. This particular paragraph, right? That's the problem I have with activists or activistic people in general. They're convinced that the rest of the world has to be an activist as well. And
Yes.
that's simply not true. Most of us need to actually pay rent. Most of us can't afford to think more than a week in advance. We
Well-
can't care about everything, absolutely everything, or else we will go crazy.
But
By
the
the
thing
way-
is,
Can't give a
also,
shit about
the thing
everything.
is, activists don't plan either.
No,
All they
of course
do
they
is
don't.
get up and scream. Now, and that's why whenever someone says "down with the patriarchy," it's like, okay, but what are you going to replace it with? How are you going to do that? What's your plan?
Well,
They don't have one, obviously.
I was
Sorry,
reading
Matt, yeah,
something.
go
It was about the percentage of like women who are in college or who have degrees, and it's like it's more than men, right?
Yeah, of
And
course. But
yeah,
you know the way modern feminism these days operates. It's something bad happens, doesn't matter what it is, women most affected. That's it.
well, so but what they were saying was like this is a good start, but we're not there yet. Like even though
No, that's the thing. They will
equality
never.
has been met. and
That's the thing.
exceeded.
They will never be there, Matt. That's the problem. They will never
Correct.
get there because there is always something to bitch about. Right?
These women are not victims; they are
And
true
if they
victims out
didn't-
there. Yep.
Sorry.
Oh
If
no,
they
and the
didn't
ladies
have
in this
something to
story
bitch
are
about,
trying
they
to.
wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Everybody needs a drag in the fight. And in this story, are trying to equate their experiences with that of an actual victim. Just shameful. Correct.
Exactly. And Dr. Anonymous colleagues got another one. They've learned that it's beneficial to play the victim, and society has rewarded them for it. Absolutely, being a victim is a social currency nowadays. I mean, we've all.
I actually mentioned that in one of our recent videos that I think, especially with LGBT activists in particular, they want the social currency, and victimhood is a currency, and that currency is made up of things like representation, having your voice heard,
having your way in general.
Yeah, having your way in general. And in order to get that currency, you have to be a victim, because victimhood immediately means morally superior.
Yeah, victimhood equals moral superiority. But this is also the problem. It's because it's become a social currency. We've all heard of the oppression Olympics here. I'm sure we've all heard of it. We're all clamoring to try and outsuffer one another in terms of how much we've been oppressed or God knows what else by the man, you know, usually the straight white man. But anyway.
Usually. Almost always. But no, yeah, the idea of like the I forgot what you said before that. Something about victim.
Never mind, it's a bunch of just venting. It's a bunch of
no, well,
anyway.
I had something, but
that's a good one with Darius Munchausen. So victimhood follows tiered purity laws.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. And the further down the figurative totem pole, the more you are quote unquote owed by society.
Yeah, having it's been
Yeah, having your way in general, being a spoiled brat, absolutely. Yep.
Oh, hey Kai, I'll send everybody your way when I'm done here.
Hey Kai, how's it going?
Hey Kai.
Anyway, let's see here. How do you eventually this question would be turned back on the asker. How could you even ask about redemption for canceled men when their victims were still reeling from the trauma? Again, but that's under the notion that they were victims and not just willing participants. How somebody had a comment earlier about Aziz and Ansari about how like he got canceled because he didn't get the job done. You're absolutely 100% right. Like if he would have if he would have got her to, then he wouldn't have anyway. Where was I at? Let's see, me too. Yeah, wait, hold on. How did you come back from having your mentor destroy your career?
Did he destroy their career?
No, I think he advanced
I thought the whole thing was that if they spoke out against him, that's what would destroy their career. But these women have spoke out against him, and they destroyed his career.
My bad, Zach.
This one is talking out of her asshole.
Yeah. How do you come? By the way, I guess apparently no one checked this. Back from having your boss ask for sexual favors, scolded an NPR interviewee. Those are the questions I think we should be taking up, not how guys get to come back and have the next stage of their careers.
See, Nick's just pointed out the great irony of this. The presumably the threat is that if these women came forward, their careers would be destroyed, right? That's presumably what they're aiming at here. The problem is these women have come forward, they've spoken up, and his is the career that got destroyed. So they're already full of shit.
Mm-hmm. In fact, in 2018, Louis C.K. was already showing signs that he'd reached the limit of his willingness to play this particular game of radical Calvin ball. Anybody know what Calvin ball is?
Nope.
Me either. He was done apologizing. See, this person is British. I didn't know that before. That makes more sense now. He was done apologizing. At least that's the UK spelling of apologizing. When or Aussie too, I guess. Y'all do that? Y'all misspell everything? And then like, no, it's on purpose. Darius is like Calvin ball. Like maybe I'm mispronouncing it, but that shit sure does look like Calvin ball to me. Anyway, let's see. He was done apologizing when there was no forgiveness on offer. Done asking permission to live from people who not only weren't going to grant it, but were clearly getting off on rejecting his pleas for clemency.
Okay, so whose side is this bitch on?
Right? Now you're like, hold on.
I'm confused. It's like, oh god, this one is doing my nut in.
Yeah. Let's see here. In one of his first appearances on stage after the scandal broke, he asked, "What are you going to take away? My birthday? My life is over. I don't give a shit." True.
Well, that's it. And once you don't give a shit, once you throw away that give a fuck card, that's it. You've got nothing left. You've got nothing more to lose.
Oh wait, hey, I think we have an answer here. Let's see here. Calvin Ball is deliberately absurd sport without rules. Oh, that is the Me Too movement then. Let's see here. The line was dismissed at the time as mere bitter raving from a washed up nobody.
Oh, he was never a nobody.
Yeah. Now it feels like a pretty incisive indictment of the hubris that had taken hold amongst the movement's most strident activists.
Again, which side are you on, bitch?
After all, #MeToo had already managed to radically dilute the concept of sexual assault to include not just the Weinsteins of the world, but also things like ghosting, cheating, or preferring that one partner wear a certain type of eye makeup during sexual activity,
Okay, now
or
this
if they
is starting to
masturbate in front
turn
of someone.
really weirdly.
Right? Did I not see that?
Hmm. Yeah, no,
Uh,
this is turning in a strange direction. Is this woman for the Me Too or the feminist Me Too activist, or is she against it now?
yeah,
And is she trying to defend Louis C.K. or speaking out against it? Because I can hardly tell what she's pissed about.
this is why I wanted to bring it up because I
hope she
did
gets
not
to a
understand
point.
her. Aziz Ansari was Me Too'd for being too pushy while seeking consent during a hookup and failing to intuit. Yeah, I got it. That his date wasn't enjoying herself.
Yes, because we're all expected to be mind readers, apparently.
Right.
But yeah. Anyway.
I just assume that's the best way to do it. Al Franken was forced out of public life after what has since been widely acknowledged as a politically motivated smear campaign by a right-wing talk radio host. By the way, I don't remember that's how that happened. I remember that there was a picture of Al Franken like grabbing someone's boobs, but they had like the eye vest on while they were like on some trip to the to like Iraq, Afghanistan, somewhere like that, right? I don't remember that being the right that was trying to cancel him. At most, the right was like, what aboutism? You know what I mean? What about this Al Franken guy? Anyway, Ansel Elgort continues to be dogged by allegations of grooming based on a handful of years old flirtatious Snapchat exchanges by the then 20-year-old with teenage fans. I don't know who Ansel is. That the YouTube guy?
No, he's been in movies. He's
like Tim Pool.
Oh shit, Ansel Elgort.
You know, was
yes,
it? Oh shit, what's the film? It's on the telly. It was on the telly last night, Sam. Ciclet.
Friggin'
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah, that's right. Fault in Our Stars. That's the one.
Yeah, he is the male.
Yeah, Baby Driver. There you go. Lovely Sherry's got it. Baby Driver. Baby Driver. There you go.
Oh, I know that movie.
Yeah, he's the driver. Baby Driver.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Oh. By the way, Army, I'll tell you this: if eating a pinky toe like would give me like the six pack abs that Army Hammer, I'd eat a toe. Maybe two. You know what I mean?
Awesome one. Telly is television.
Anyway, what was I? Oh yeah. So you could be forgiven as man after man was toppled for increasingly esoteric violations of the rapidly evolving norms.
Yeah, no shit.
For thinking that you could cancel pretty much anyone for anything. But in truth, the power of Me Too, #MeToo, to hold a canceled man's feet to the fire was already on the wane, diminishing with every renewed demand for more groveling, more apologies, a few more slivers of flesh atop the pound that had already been collected.
You bitches overplayed your hand, and you are paying for it.
Yeah, bitches. And that's, by the way, that's the good one. That wasn't even the evil one that said that. The height of this movement.
No. Sam is the evil one.
Oh yeah, I can tell. Yeah, when you're like, you bitches overplayed your hand, like definitely not the good one.
Would you like to put our names up so it's easy to know who's who?
I guess I can do that. If I had a producer, it'd be easier. Let's see here. Nope, that's not where it is. don't know where to find it. Where do I find it? I forgot where it is.
Yep, Sentient Dildos basically summed it up. She's pissed off that they overplayed their hand on non-cases. Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, I found it.
And look, that's going to be the way of any movement that is currently going on at the moment. People will eventually overplay their hands. People will see right through it, and they'll have enough. It's as simple as that.
Let's see here. Where was I? At that, but in truth, yeah. Choice, yep. To be relentless, to rejoice in punishing those who not only transgress but question the orthodoxy, and to scoff at the idea that these excesses might ever come back to haunt us. Had the movement gone too far? No, it hadn't gone far enough. It took a while to realize that we had created a toxic culture in which contrition was seen as pointless, and it was
absolutely.
ironically,
Yep.
It's like this person saw an article by somebody on the Daily Wire and was like, "Wow, that's a really good point. I'm going to do that, but I'm gonna frame it within, you know what I mean? Women are great, and nothing wrong with me too." Anyway, it was ironically the greatest gift the movement could give to its enemies: the courage that comes from having nothing to lose.
Yes.
And now,
how ironic.
yeah. And now we reap
Ultimately,
what we
again,
sowed.
Monster you're trying to fight, right? You become the monster you're trying to fight, and ultimately you end up giving fuel to the
people
fire
with the power.
Exactly, you end up giving fuel to the fire of people you hate, and this is exactly what's going on right now. The backlash to all of this crap is going to be absolutely. I want to say the word glorious because I can't wait for it. I'm a bit like the Joker in that way. I just want to see
and the
whole
reason
thing
why
burn.
it's going to be glorious is because no one from the start set any standard. No one planned anything.
Yeah, like like what Sam said earlier. You can't tell these bitches anything. What was it? Oh yeah.
Anyway,
For
go
all-
on. Yeah.
For all his influence over the discourse, and for all the scalps it's collected from men who lack the comeback capacity of someone like Louis C.K. #MeToo cannot ultimately stop a popular entertainer from making money off his art.
Of course, it didn't help that some of the darlings of the Me Too movement, Amber Heard and fucking Asia Argento were caught out in their own bullshit.
Oh, Amber Heard did nothing wrong.
No, she
tell
just
me
shut in someone's bed and cut someone's
Yeah,
finger
bro.
off. Oh
That's
no, it's
normal
absolutely
stuff.
Please tell me
nothing.
you're joking.
Let's see here. Oh yeah. Nor has it managed to persuade a plurality of people that the punishment for every weird sexual transgression should be permanent professional death. One by one, the men we canceled are coming back. Like, she includes herself in this, but when she criticizes the movement, it's from the outside.
She uses, but then again, if you really want to be up yourself, she could be using the royal we, which is not actually which is actually not including her. She's just,
Yeah.
Well, what do you call it? It is, but it isn't. She's desperately trying not to include herself, but we all know what's going on.
Yes, we do. One by one, the men we canceled are coming back. If they ever left, Aziz Ansari is back on the comedy circuit. Oh,
yes, God forbid.
Get better at sex. James Franco is still making movies. Don't be so adorable. Cristiano Ronaldo?
Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah.
Ronaldo? That's a dumb name. Settled a lawsuit after a allegation and promptly returned to the soccer field. I don't know who that. I don't know who that is. Ansel Elgort just starred in Spielberg's West Side Story. The market, not the movement, still holds the power here, except for West Side Story.
Yep.
That shit
Because
bombed.
that's what it's all about. Again, they're saying the quiet part out loud. It's about power. They want power. That's it.
She started this with saying, like, we want it all. Like, we want absolute power.
Exactly. She's saying the quiet part out loud.
But more importantly, the refusal of #MeToo gatekeepers to even imagine that the men they toppled might not stay gone forever is exposing the movement itself as something far less groundbreaking than its most fervent adherents might have hoped. The promise of a better, fair, more ethical framework for women's workplace equality simply never came to pass.
From Hollywood, I shouldn't think so.
Again, they had no bloody plan.
Not
They had
least.
no true goal.
I mean, like you had one chick like
They just
carrying a mattress.
they just wanted to tear people down, and that's it.
Mhm. Oh yeah. The goals were was the pain, and the pain was the goal. Like, and that's what it fed on. Not least because we couldn't bring ourselves to abandon the fantasy of throwing transgressors into the bin and letting them rot. And in our focus on punishment above all, we abandoned the principles that any real working system of justice requires.
You pissed on due process, and now you're paying for it. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. Of proportionate punishments that fit the crime, of fairness and humility, of a path back into grace for those who've transgressed but atoned.
See, it seems to me that she gets it. You know?
But yeah, I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm agreeing with what's being said here, but I'm still waiting for the penny to drop.
Mm-hmm. Wait, you said the penny? Like a penny loafer?
Penny as in a coin.
Oh, I thought it was like the other shoe to drop in.
Well, there's both. Pennies dropped and the shoe. They're the same thing but different. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Oh, they all know why. By the way, someone says, watch the video on an actor who stands up to this. The actor asked his enemies, why do you do this? Most answer they didn't know why.
No, they have absolutely no clue. It's one of those things. I saw a video on I think it was 2017 Women's March or whatever it was.
Is that the one with the hats?
That mess where everyone was wearing woolen pussy hats and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it could have been 2016.
The person going around, I can't remember who it was. There were lots of people there at the time, but they were going around going, okay, why are you here? What are you here for? You know, and the argument was, oh no, it's not an anti-Trump rally. Oh no, it's not anti-Trump. But half the people you asked said they're standing up to Donald Trump. Half the people didn't know why they were there. Half the people were after this thing. And then the other half, pay equality or something. And then the other half were after something else altogether. There was no, it was totally inconsistent.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's not uncommon for most movements. Whenever you have a big movement like that, you're going to have people that are a part of it because it is something that's happening. Rather than them believing
you look
in the principles.
This is why I don't call myself a feminist. I mean, if I was a feminist, I'd be a real old school feminist. I actually believe in equality and a lot of it.
Yeah.
Probably equality and all that noise. The old fashioned stuff that was meant to be good. But nowadays it's like, well, there are so many different factions of feminism, all of these different factions in these movements that it's impossible to in my opinion, I think it's impossible to attach the label to oneself without, I would say, tacitly supporting all of it in some way. And unfortunately, I don't support what's going on, what's happened. So I don't call myself a feminist anymore.
I never did. Thanks, man.
Consequently, I call myself an egalitarian, which I think is far more
reasonable.
Yes,
like exactly. That is the most reasonable stance to take.
Yeah, less toxic baggage and more reasonable, I should say. Go on. Yeah.
Have a good night, Toxic. Thanks for having me. Oh, by the way, that Moon Knight. Oh, I was on the penultimate of Severance on Apple. Love that show. But instead of watching that, I had to go watch Moon Knight. Ugh. Couldn't even get through the third one.
Yeah, I've heard things about
selfies.
The third episode. Apparently, it's absolute trash.
Yeah, bro, it's a.
Then again, they have set a precedent. It seems all the Marvel TV shows have been trash, especially on Disney Plus.
Yeah, they just don't give a shit anymore. But
anyway. No, they don't. They're throwing shit at the wall and hoping something sticks.
Instead, the movement has been reduced to revenge-seeking apparatus that takes grievances at one end and produces the instant gratification of an internet outrage cycle at the other. We were promised sweeping social change. What we got was a ritual spanking machine. And while some people...
it's Darius, I think, in the chat, who basically said, she's on... this writer seems to be on her way to Baseland. I think so. I think that's true.
hold on, I actually wanted to address this. Sentient Dildo says, is being reasonable and unreasonable times reasonable? Absolutely. Like I think
my brain's about to explode. I need to dissect that.
well, so I'll say this, right? Because this comes up a lot about like, well, they do this to us. Why don't we do it back to them or whatever? Like, I think whatever short-term gains you may get by playing the same game that the other side, whatever side that may be, like those are all going to be lost in the long term if you're having
and
to
to keep
portray
it
your
real
principles and
basic,
ethics.
to keep it real basic for everybody in the chat and just for all of us here, 2 wrongs don't make a right. Stop doing it.
Yep. Grant, what's up, bro?
Hey yo.
We were
Hey,
talking
Grant, how's
about
it going?
hashtag me too, and you came running.
Yep, yeah. I was gonna smack some bitches.
Anyway, where was I? Let's see. Yeah. We were promised sweeping social change, right? What we got was I read all that. And while some people might be sustained by this, riding the outrage roller coaster from one cancellation to the next, it's depressing to see it come to this. Even as Louis C.K. in his Grammy Award laugh all the way to the bank. What
hey,
up,
George? How's it going?
Hello, Emily. How
Hey
you
there,
doing?
George.
Mr. Grant Gregory.
Hey George, what's going on, buddy?
You getting ready?
Now we're actually getting into comments.
Oh, what are y'all talking about?
We just read this
isn't
article.
Crazy bitch, isn't?
One of them.
No,
I mean-
the video one, the nutcase.
No, not in this case. No.
Mhm.
What's the
I'm not-
article about, if I can ask?
Oh, this
Oh yeah,
one?
sure. This one is about Louis C.K. won't be cancelled.
Oh, why? I thought he was already done.
And this
What?
one goes
Yeah, he's
into a
back now.
rather, and this writer goes into a rather confusing rant, where we can't really make out whether she wants to be angry at Louis C.K. and everyone else, or whether she's
actually agreeing that the Me Too movement's gone too far and gone a bit silly. So we're trying to figure out which side she's on. She doesn't appear to be coming down on either end.
When was this
at least-
article?
I found this last week after he won the Grammy and stuff. Let's see.
But it's
April
okay,
8th.
because
Yeah.
it sounds like she's like a few years behind. The Me
Mm,
Too movement went too far a few years ago.
Well, she does bring up Aziz Ansari, and that's going back a while.
Yeah, that's really okay. So she didn't know what to write about.
Exactly. Well, it kind of shows because it doesn't look like she's coming down on either side particularly hard.
Gotcha.
Nick,
I mean, the first half of the article was salty as hell,
Mhm.
but now it seems to have taken a more sensible turn, shall we say?
Okay.
Nick, I guess put the link for the real article I wanted to talk about in the back. If you could share that, you did a great job.
Yeah, sure. I was gonna say I might have to duck out just for a bit, just to restart my computer.
Okay.
Yeah. I will be back.
Okay. All right. Well,
Okay. So see you in a bit. See everyone in a bit.
All right. See you in a little bit.
did you get rid of those coyotes? You're talking about
They
coyotes.
went around. Thank God. I heard them, and they were not actually in my yard. They were behind the wall. I just heard a couple yipping. As long as they're not in my yard, no problem.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as they're coming right for you.
I thought they were there because they sounded that close, and I take Snoopy out at sometimes 11 to 12, and I didn't want to have him, torn to shreds.
Oh, you're talking about the animal. Okay, never mind. I was getting really confused for a second then.
They're coyotes. It's funny. I've lived here a year and a half. No problems. The last 6 weeks, for whatever reason, they've spotted in the neighborhood a boar, a deer, jackrabbits, and now coyotes. It's like, okay.
That's crazy.
Maybe
Darius-
they
Darius'
heard
comment-
about your
Darius'
YouTube
comment here is
success.
great.
Say
I
again?
wanted to hit this comment because it's so good. Darius says she knows what she is supposed to believe and what she is supposed to say, but her mind is working out a more enlightened realization as she writes.
As she writes. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how it felt because she started off real salty,
Right?
but then as it went on, she started to, shall we say, see the light.
Yeah, because like I'll do that on purpose. Like I'll have something that I'm trying to work out in my head, and I'll start writing it, and you know what I mean. And it may like radically change by the time I'm like
Yeah.
halfway through
And
it.
just for a quick disclaimer, all of us here on the panel, chances are our opinions and rants and so on, they'll all change within a few weeks or so. So don't come after us.
Absolutely not. I've never changed my
Mine
opinion about
won't.
anything.
There you go.
That goes for you, Mama Susan. Leave us alone.
My opinions don't change.
Yeah, she loves us. Are you kidding me?
I don't think she likes me.
I know she doesn't like me.
Why you don't tell her one of your dick stories?
One of my dick stories? I have like 4 at most. One of my dick stories. Come on.
Maybe a dick's missing at YouTube. You know, there's
See,
one laying
what you
around.
do is you need to get one more, then we can have the top 5 dick stories, and we can
Yeah.
rank them.
Oh, yeah,
we
that's a
can,
good
we can do a
idea,
list.
shit.
Yeah.
There you go. You don't have one more dick story to make it, you know. a hit?
I mean, I can go get a dick story easily. You know?
Yeah, it's not the same just getting a dick story. You know, it needs to be
Yeah,
lived.
I mean, I can't imagine it'd be that difficult to get a dick story. Just go around a public
No.
toilet after midnight. You'll be fine.
Yeah. How do you think I got the other 4?
I thought you
That's
picked
mostly
them up.
it. What's that?
I thought you picked them up and after you found them on the ground.
No, I did not pick it up.
I thought you said
Um,
you picked it up and said you showed it and said, "Look, there's a dick on."
No, I did
misunderstand
not
this?
pick it up.
Oh, okay.
No, I did not pick it up. But
Who picked it up?
our lieutenant.
Okay,
Frank
he
the Tank.
actually picked it up. Like-
Yeah, bro, with his bare hand, he's like, "Hey, look what the fuck I found!" He started waving in the air and shit.
It cracked me up.
I was just like, I mean, well, you didn't find it, but okay, like, you know, I'm not gonna say anything to him. Grant, man, how's the wedding going, dude? You get the cake picked out and the flowers and all that?
Yeah. So we're just finalizing the part of the cake at the moment. It's in the oven. So
You're doing the cake yourself?
yeah.
Are you getting ready for the
Um,
honeymoon? You know, big night. Do you need any, like, you know, have that talk?
No, I'm just going to tell them one of Mad's dick stories, and I think that'll get us both in the mood. So
Works every time, bro.
yeah. No, so we had our rehearsal just a few hours ago.
Oh, nice.
Got our spot all sorted and picked out, and yeah, we're just hurry up and wait now, sort of thing.
Yeah, that can always be the most difficult part.
Yeah.
Is Nick having to rebuild a computer?
It sounds like it.
Well, as I said, both of our computers are about 3 years younger than Jesus, so you might be waiting a little while.
Jesus will be internally young, like the song, you know, internally young.
Internally young. I want to
Yeah.
be internally
Eternally
young.
young.
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah. Yeah, they made a movie out of it.
Yeah, they did with Mel Gibson, right? He was frozen as like a soldier in like the 1940s, and he comes back in 1992.
Yeah, but he
Oh,
got
Oh
what was coming
God,
to him.
yes, that I remember.
Yeah, eternally
that.
young.
Wow,
Mel Gibson.
I
Yeah.
like that. That's when everybody
Wow,
liked.
I can't
Mel
believe I
Gibson.
got that one. That's
Now
a
he's
deep
doing
cut.
one. He's doing Father Stew or something.
What's that?
He's doing a movie called
Yeah.
Father Stew.
He's in this other one with
What is that like a cannibal movie?
No, it's a
no,
true
it's based
story.
on it's a true story about a dude that became a priest that became
Oh, okay. So Father Stew, not Father Stew. Okay.
No, no.
I thought you
no.
meant like
It's
yeah,
with Mark
okay.
Wahlberg or the guy who sang. One of the Wahlbergs who sang.
Well,
Marky.
The one
Mark
who got
and
like a
Donnie.
real-
Mark and Donnie were both
real
in.
high pitched voice, which I never understood how he became a leading man with such a high.
Who?
high
Mark?
pitch.
Marky
He-
Mark?
He talks like, "Hi, how are you?" You know, it's really.
No, he doesn't.
What? No,
What? No.
And he can't act for shit.
Yeah, he can.
What and what?
dude,
The
dude,
fighter.
Marky Mark.
The
Fighter?
Fighter?
Departed.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Well, he's the thing you got to understand about. He's a really good method actor. Like he's played
Mhm.
plenty of killers. He just decided to kill a person before he became an actor.
Do you remember
The
when he
opinions of
played
Mr. Grant Gregory does not reflect the.
Do y'all remember when he played that one where he was an assassin with Lou Diamond Phillips? Like he was part of a team and he was married.
Oh, I love that movie. It's a John Woo movie.
Was it John Woo?
Yeah, I'm 100% positive it's John Woo, and
But
it's.
play the video from that. His voice is like as high as you can get.
I don't believe that. What was that
Oh,
movie called? How am I supposed to
okay.
find it? I don't know what it's called.
I liked him in The Departed.
Yeah,
Oh,
he was great in The
was
Departed.
great. He was great in The Departed. I didn't know.
You
if that
really
was
haven't
his-
seen The Fighter,
No, I haven't.
where he plays Mickey Ward?
Is
He
that
plays
the
the
one
other
with?
bro- he
Is
plays
that
the
the
other
one with
brother.
Christian Bale?
Yeah, Kristen Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah, plays his
I've
brother.
never seen that.
Oh,
one.
the
That's
big Lucas Cherry coming in. Yeah, The big hit. That's what it was.
The
That's what it
big
was.
hit, yes. Look, find the trailer, and you'll hear his voice. I'm telling you, it's high.
All
high.
right.
Shooter, I enjoyed Shooter. I did not
Yeah.
like the television series.
I never watched it.
You didn't miss anything.
Shooter, yeah, he was a pretty good golfer for a while anyway. Until he got banned.
I'm almost positive this is a John Woo.
I believe you. You
movie.
said I don't remember. It was with him and Bokeem. I remember Bokeem Woodbine. I can never forget that dude's name. And Lou
Christina
Diamond Phillips.
Applegate was in it.
Yeah, I went to watch it because I thought we were going to see something, but
Oh my god.
didn't.
Yeah,
I didn't go for Marky Mark.
I went for Marky Mark. Well, I probably saw it years later. All right. May EFAP it a little bit, just in case.
All right, gentlemen, synchronize.
That's Lou Diamond Phillips.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Executive producer John Woo. Okay.
Get ready in 3, 2.
It's a good movie. It's crazy.
I thought.
Yeah, okay. So I remember this movie differently because I thought Vanilla Ice was in this movie. Now I realize it's not Vanilla Ice.
I'm a contract killer. That's the only thing that I'm good at.
See?
I'm a contract
This is a
killer.
bonus hit.
The only thing I'm good at.
Wait till he talks to his wife.
Is that
Non-dairy cream?
John Leguizamo?
Yeah, I think there was Avery Brooks in there as well.
It was.
It's definitely 1998.
I'm really sorry about the mess. Thank you, sir.
This is going to be the right time to tell them that we're engaged.
You seem like a nice enough German-Irish fella. Put. You're gonna put your father in an early grave.
Got a little present for you. Oh, who is it? Senator Knight. I diced him up a little bit. Did you clean him?
See, I don't think his voice is that high, man.
Okay. I don't know
Like,
why I
I think
remember
it's
it higher. It doesn't sound like that here. I remember it differently.
You probably need it again. I didn't read the article, but I saw the headline. He was talking about how his kids are embarrassed of him as Maki Mock. And
They
they're
weren't
like,
getting
"Well,"
any good vibrations out of it.
I posted it again in the back, Nick. Oh man,
Yeah, he was built like a brick shithouse in that video clip too.
I had to knock you down a peg,
That's all right.
Knock who down a peg?
Grant. I had to move him down a spot because of his good vibration joke.
Oh well, you should have moved me up a spot for my shooter joke.
Oh, I should have, yeah. Anyway, as George finished typing, we'll get ready to read the
I'm
article
not typing.
that I wanted to read in the first place.
That's not me.
Oh, I thought it was George. It sounded like someone was smashing
Yeah.
the shit out of their keyboard.
It was George.
What was it?
You can tell
have
because
no
when he
proof.
types, he's looking at a different monitor.
That's me looking at you. See, I'm
All right,
going
George.
back-
George,
getting your
type
different
something in the
profile.
chat. Let's see if it is.
Yeah.
Type something in the
Type
chat.
something in the chat.
I'm typing.
You're not even looking the right direction.
I am looking at the other monitor.
No, it's the monitor to your right. He's
He's
muted.
muted.
Wow.
I have to get a new keyboard. Okay.
Anybody? Yeah, that's the problem. No, put a gate on it. Put a gate on your mic.
Gate on my mic.
Yes, a gate on your mic.
You mean the
Anyway,
little pop thingy?
no.
I know what you
mean.
mean.
Oh, okay. It's
Okay.
a VST. Did I say that right? VST?
I have a gate on my on the road on the what the hell you call it the road thing player whatever. I'm not a tech guy.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Could have fooled me.
I know what I don't.
So that's right. And let's see. I guess I'll read it. And Jared Carmichael's new
Wait, let me
HBO
just fix this. There we go.
special Rothaniel, directed by Bo Burnham and filmed on a recent wintry night at the Blue Note Jazz Club in New York, is a quiet comedy revelation.
Mm.
Carmichael first delves into the skeletons in his family closet. In short, prolific cheating from the men in his family. Then reveals his own big secret. He's gay.
It's not big a secret.
No. It takes viewers. He takes viewers through a gentle coming out narrative interspersed with occasional questions and reassurances from the audience. Quote, I'm trying to be very honest because my whole life was shrouded in secrets, Carmichael says at the end of the evening. Quote, I figured the only route I hadn't tried was the truth. So
Straight out of a
profound.
CW show.
So
What
profound,
movie is
so
this?
This was his
Yeah.
special, his comedy special.
Okay.
Well, you didn't think that line was funny?
Mm.
The only thing he hadn't tried was the truth. Come on, that's hilarious.
Hold on, let me just see something. Hang on.
Maybe, I don't know. It didn't feel like it.
What is he doing?
And I think that is the word that shouldn't be used, especially with comedy, is the word sincerely.
Yeah, that's the
It
one.
is funny. Yeah. Carmichael's approach to his coming out is to turn his comedy stage into a place of healing and acceptance, in which the audience becomes his confessors. If Hannah Gatsby's 2018 special, Nanette, has pushed comedians to balance serious themes with the need to make people laugh, Rothaniel is a new mediated space altogether. Let me see. Oh yeah, half comedy, half interactive therapy session, because that's what people are looking for in comedy.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Where
I
the
like
hell do
jokes. I
these
like to
people
laugh.
come from? These sanctimonious people.
I
I
don't
like to
know.
laugh and stuff, but you know what I really need?
Nikki, they come straight out of college. That's where they come
Mm.
from.
Straight out of college with
They
my,
come straight
with
from
my
the
gender
CW
study
network.
degree.
It's all the blue check marks on Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
That's really
Oh,
Mm.
I thought you were going to say blue-haired land whales.
that too.
Them
But
too.
I think it's just the
Them
blue
too.
check marks on Twitter. I love watching it. We should look at some of their tweets, man. How they're
Dude, you should,
how
you
they're
should, you should
melting
seriously
down.
sit through Nanette. If you want a good laugh, sit through Nanette's thing and count how many seconds of absolute dead air there are. Like it's
Oh, no, I
it is
can't. I couldn't bear it.
hilarious.
For which?
For Nanette's latest special.
I know, but what's it
Hannah,
about?
Hannah Gatsby's
Musk?
Nanette, yeah.
Yeah.
Musk.
Oh my god. There's things that's like it's supposed to be a joke, and then it goes into about how she's had such a hard life, but there's no punchline, and then she just stops and stares at the crowd.
For what?
And then they're like, "Oh, this is where we do this."
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, see, there's I think it's called clafter, where it's not
Yeah.
actual, it's not actual laughter like, haha, this is funny. It's, haha, this is really awkward, and we have to laugh to show that we agree.
She goes, "Yeah, don't know if you knew this, but I'm a lesbian.
What the hell is the accent?
This
is
we
that?
live." That's my Australian accent.
Well, Grant,
Like,
you
I
don't
nailed it.
Grant, you don't sound that way.
No, he
Oh,
doesn't, but she does.
No, I went to the Marky Mark School of How to Talk Properly. So
And Nick and I went to this new thing called school.
School.
School?
Did any of y'all
It-
watch? Remember the last time we were together? I said y'all should check out Mr. In Between. Anyone? The Australian hitman TV series.
yeah, I watched the first episode.
And
I mean, don't get me wrong.
okay.
I mean, all
See you,
three of
brother.
us, Grant, Nick, and I, we can all put on the Australian accent if we need to.
Oh, turn it up, you mug. Fuck, have a go.
Hey, gang, you can't.
It's off, dickhead.
What you doing? Trying to get rooted? Yeah,
what?
that's sling in Australia.
No, it's,
For
having,
fuck.
it's not getting rooted. It's having a root.
Oh,
yeah,
having
having a root, yeah.
The only thing
Yeah,
that comes
get-
to mind is
get rid of it
what's
is-
it from Kath and Kim. I can see your pash rash here from your mole.
Oh yeah, I've always said that.
But no, like, get rooted is something different. Get rooted is like saying get fucked.
Yeah, that's what I was telling y'all. Get fucked.
No,
Well,
but
what-
not get fucked as in the insult.
Yeah,
as in
that's what I'm
the
saying.
insult, as in to have a root is to have a fuck,
Yeah,
as in to fuck somebody.
you
We're
know,
all
say the same thing.
Paul
in
Hogan
Australia.
never sounded like you, man.
Dude, the real story of the real crocodile, the Crocodile Dundee. Like, oh my gosh, it
There's
does
a
not
root.
go well for him. Meth, arms being chopped off. Yeah,
Are you being serious?
100%. Yeah, look up the real story, like the real Crocodile Dundee that they based him on. Like, he loses his shit.
I always like that. Now that's a knife. I can't say it, but
Oh
Well,
yeah.
as I said, my best advice for affecting an Australian accent is A, elongate every single word,
okay.
Mm-hmm.
right? and then you've got to act like a drunk person who's just had a stroke.
True. Yeah. In New Zealand is as if you're talking as you smile. See, it's like these. So it's like these, you know, like in me and
Yeah, it's like English, except that you replace your A's with your O's, your E's with your I's, and you use
Right.
the A's again. So
Yeah,
it's like
pretty basic
it's like
stuff.
it's like you want some fish and chops. Oh well, shut hippins.
Well, what does the slang sound like? I only hear it on that, like I said, on that show, Mr. In Between. I always love listening to slang in other cultures, other languages. I
Well,
love
it
it.
depends. If you get to there's these things that exist in Australia called eshays.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
They're kind of like a de-evolved version of a bogan.
Okay.
Of course.
And they have their own unique sort of language that usually ends up in oh yeah, I can't eh.
Yeah.
And
It's
if
like
you want to
Pikey.
say if you want to agree with someone, you don't say yes, I agree with that. You go no, yeah.
No,
Ah,
yeah.
Yeah. Or
Nah,
yeah, no,
yeah.
yeah.
Think
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
it kind of
Did
like
you ever-
Pikey, you know.
Pikey. Yeah,
Yeah.
I told me that's not actually something nice to say.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Think of
No,
it
I
as
didn't know.
like the day was you buddy. How you said?
What about a
Fuck
caravan?
around in your
Fucking
caravan
wheels
on
for?
fucking wheels.
I love Snatch. I was telling him, it's like I
Told me
think-
that.
Great movie.
Yeah,
Told
it
me
is.
that.
But did anyone ever see Russell Crowe's first movie, Romper Stomper?
Yeah, that's the one where he beats the shit out of Asians.
Yeah, but I was talking about his accent. It was much different than what he did later, Maximus. and
No,
all
because he
that.
was a Kiwi. That's why.
Yeah,
'Cause he's
isn't
not
Russell?
an-
Yeah,
he's not
Russell's
Australian.
officially a Kiwi.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
We claimed him when he won the Academy Award, but when he started
Yeah,
throwing
yeah, yeah.
phones, he turned back to a New Zealander.
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
right.
he was
When-
Australian.
no.
I mean,
He
he's
was
an Australian
born in-
citizen.
No,
Yeah,
I thought he
was
was
he?
born there. Because when
No,
okay.
I thought he was born in the U.S. and moved there as a kid for like
That's
6
Mel.
months.
That's Mel Gibson.
that's
I
Mel
think.
Gibson.
That's who
Yeah,
we're talking
that's
about,
Mel
right?
Gibson.
No,
No.
Russell Crowe. Because I know he
Oh.
owns a football team, doesn't he?
Yeah, he goes South Sydney.
Oh,
The same.
Rabbitohs.
It's pretty much the same setup with Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman was born in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Wait a
Viper.
minute. I thought she was Australian.
Well, her parents are both Australian, and
Okay.
she was born on holiday in Hawaii, so she's American.
Wow.
Or,
Is that why her accent comes and goes?
Probably.
Mm.
not in her earlier on her earlier career, she had a really thick Australian accent.
Like with BMX Bandits kind of thing.
Yeah, and that sailing.
I like
one
the
she had.
Australian accent. I like it.
It's
I
all right.
remember-
Once you got a hold of, once you got onto those e-meters and all that, they scan the shit out of her with that. So
Like I grew up with watching the, like I said, Gallipoli, The Man from Snowy River, Romper Stomper.
yeah, all good children's TV.
yeah.
Don't forget Chopper.
Chopper,
Yeah, Chopper.
yes.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
don't forget Chopper. You
I
can't.
always
can't
think
miss
that
Chopper.
Grant looks like that guy in the movie. Oh my god!
Look, he does a bit actually.
He does in that
He
picture
does a
there. Yeah.
bit.
If you think about it, you bring up his picture. Bring up Tom
Just,
Hardy's
um,
picture.
Just don't get too close, otherwise he might bite your ears off.
Was that true or is that BS?
True story. True story.
Oh.
Yeah, because he was he basically what happened was he'd pissed off everyone in the thing, and he was gonna get got. He
Okay.
So what he did is he got one of the other inmates to cut his ears off.
Mhm.
So and then he said that he did it, so they'd send him to the psych ward.
Mm.
But the problem was the guy that was doing it was obviously not proficient at it and didn't really want to do it. So he was slicing, he wasn't just tearing it, he just wanted him to tear it off. So that's why he's not cut cleanly, it's really jagged.
Mhm.
But yeah, because he got stabbed 15 times in the guts by his best mate.
Why?
Because he was bashing up the dockers and painters and all that. And yeah, because he was in a gang of one essentially. He had no real affiliation, but he was big in the underworld.
Because
yeah,
he got
and
really
so-
famous.
Yeah, well, he got out. I mean, he's dead now. He died of liver cancer. But he got out and he got invited to a bikie's wedding. And I don't know if you know how the underworld works. If you're invited to something, you have to go. And most things have a fee to go. So he had to pay
A fee?
$8,500. Yeah, fee to go to this wedding that he was invited to. He didn't pay, and they had a go at him. So he killed the leader of the gang.
Oh.
This was after he got out. This was in between him doing all of his tours and everything. And he was famous for explosives and cutting people's toes off.
Toes.
Yeah, because they
Yeah,
the
there's-
toes
look,
pop
there's-
really easy.
Yeah, there's a reason why they called him Chopper. Yeah, that's why.
And then I saw Animal Kingdom a few years ago about that family.
Yeah, that's I mean, that's not a real story, but yeah, that might as well be.
Oh,
All right. The
okay.
jazz club setting lends an even more intensely improvisational
Improvisation.
improvisational feeling.
Improvisational.
There
feeling.
you go.
Improvisational.
Improvisational.
Yeah. Yeah.
Carmichael's
We've all seen it.
monologuing.
To Carmichael's monologue. Oh, you want to read it, George?
Oh, I can read it.
Please.
It's comedy as melisma, maybe, complete with stammers, pauses, and his admission that he's still working some things out, both the comedy bits and the emotional bits.
Wait.
A lot of
This
bits.
is an HBO special, and in the middle of it, he's like, I'm still working some of these bits out.
Yeah. The name
God,
of the
how
special-
desperate were they to fill out their diversity? and
Well,
include
unfortunately,
quotas?
Louis C.K. got canceled. They couldn't put him on.
Hmm.
Next best
Yeah,
thing.
but
By the way, let me know if I'm being too mean. By the way,
But does cancellation have like an expiration date?
Oh, the last article. You're going to have to watch the replay, bro.
Okay.
The last article went into all of that.
All right. 2 days. No, the name of the special refers to a layered metaphor for that process. It's the given name he's tried to erase for years, but has finally accepted as a messy part of himself. It's perhaps lighter on laughs than Carmichael's previous specials.
Translation, it's not funny.
That's the most odd way of
Mm.
saying, yeah, this isn't funny.
Yeah.
I mean, we've all heard real estate language, right? You know, when
Right.
when a house is absolutely tiny and the bath
It's
is
cozy.
yeah, exactly.
And when the bath is not big
Nice
enough to
accent.
drown a mouse, it's snug.
Yeah,
and when a house has character, it means it's fucking ugly.
It's
Yeah.
falling apart.
Exactly.
well,
This
it's
is a classic case. This is a classic case of real estate language, but it is Vox, so we really shouldn't be surprised. Light on laughs basically means
Dull.
deadly boring, unfunny, and sanctimonious. There you go.
Yes.
Wow. But his particular unhurried power.
What does that mean?
Unhurried power means he's slow. He's really slow to get a laugh.
Deliberately slow.
Yeah,
Wow.
deliberately slow
He-
getting a laugh.
He's slow, but it's powerful.
You know,
I'm-
this person could have written literally 2 sentences to explain the whole thing.
Well,
This
Actually,
is
I'm
yeah,
funny.
unhurried power,
and
it means
slow.
it drags.
Yeah, it
I'm
means
starting-
the show drags. Yeah, that's
I
better.
mean, it's like the lens. If you just turn it slightly, like they're taking the piss out of. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
Oh
like,
yeah,
it's not funny. He's a fatata. You
Long-winded.
know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
he's a half a tard. So
Half a thought.
You
You
have
need
to-
to have that button, never go full retard,
Yeah.
from
Yeah,
Tropic
use
Thunder.
that clip from What's It? Yeah.
so his
Yes, and the
unhurried
idea of
power-
unhurried power basically means the show drags and is slower than sweet molasses.
See, this is why we need to go back to the times when people used to throw like tomatoes, lettuce, fruit.
yeah.
See, I'm a big fan of. Anyone else here a big fan of the stocks? Just
The
lock
stocks,
people
yes.
lock people up in it for a day and just hurl your grown vegetables at them. And if somebody, if somebody
Bro.
ends up,
Who the
getting
hell
a rotten
goes to a
tomato on the
nightclub?
face, well, ho hum.
bro, you know what happens at night, right? When no one's around and you're stuck out there.
What happened?
Mad, I don't want to know about your personal life.
Right. Did you do this to some Iraqis?
Whoa, no, that's a war crime, motherfucker. No, it has no.
Maybe Joe motherfucker did it.
But his particular unhurried power has always come from a lack of neurosis about audience reaction, coupled with a willingness to deliver what he sincerely has to give.
So in other words,
Okay,
he's
look-
slow, he's unfunny, and he doesn't give a shit what the audience says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Either
Tomato.
that or he's-
I suppose can be good.
Right.
I mean, look,
You
if he doesn't care about the audience reaction, that's not
But the thing is,
not a good sign.
why didn't he just sign up and do a TED talk?
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Because he probably
Why do you
couldn't even
do
get
the
on a
YouTube
TEDx talk.
Or or do
Oh,
a
yeah.
YouTube channel and put himself out there. You know, YouTube.
Yeah, well,
Or-
because
Or he probably, I bet you if we continue going, he probably loves the Hurt Locker like Mad does.
Any response to that, Mad?
yeah, hang on.
He's looking for it. You can see he's reaching for the
Wow,
button.
a Hurt Locker joke. Haven't heard one of those before. Yay, you found it.
Nice.
I'm gonna send you like every copy of 4K Blu-ray, 4K special.
No,
If he ever finds out where you live, you're literally going to get a pallet full of it. George is like, it cost me 20 grand, but it was worth it.
But- you know what's funny? I don't know why I thought of this, but like, so I started watching Star Wars, right? The original, and I was waiting on the pizza to get here, right? And when the pizza guy got here, right, it was the very beginning. So the scroll is like
Well, what pizza did you order from first?
I think we did Domino's. I can't remember, but the guy gets here, right, and the first thing I'm like, oh no, it's a New Hope. It's a New Hope. Like I don't know, like for some reason I didn't want this guy, this complete stranger I'll never see again, to even think that I was watching the Disney trilogy. I'm like, no, it's a New Hope.
It's like
You're like,
Like-
no, dude, I was watching
Fair
porn.
enough.
I was watching porn.
Right,
Yeah. I wasn't
yeah.
watching Grey. Yeah.
I immediately just wanted to make sure that he knew I wasn't. Like that's where I'm at with Star Wars. Is where I don't want the pizza guy to think badly about me. I don't want to be that guy.
But you'd let him know you were watching Hurt Locker.
Here he performs the mental and emotional toll of trying to repress something so huge until it comes spilling out.
Notice Mad never gave an answer.
So basically, this is a guy who's slow. He's not funny, and he
No.
thinks he's the shit.
Yeah. Until honesty is the only thing you have left.
Isn't that basically like every Gen Z person ever? So,
Basically.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
He sounds,
Slow,
he sounds,
unfunny,
he
and
sounds
thinks
like a
he's the
drunk
shit.
bloke.
Hey, look
Dude.
at that new fuel-saving trick invented. Thousands
You-
in Australia found a device that can lower fuel consumption by 55%.
It looks
Yeah,
like a
it's called
20-ounce
walking.
bottle of
Coke.
Coca-Cola.
I
a bottle
know.
of Coke.
I thought maybe y'all knew something we didn't.
Yeah, but we're
Uh,
not gonna tell you.
I mean, we do have little squeezy packets of tomato sauce. You guys
So-
don't have that in America, so
Wait, what, they don't?
I started by saying Star Wars, and I immediately was like, "Oh no, this dude may not know that I mean
I knew
like
how-
Star Wars." Yeah. So anyway, 2
2
days
days-
after.
Oh, I
Oh,
thought-
go ahead, George.
No, you go ahead if you want. You were like,
No, no.
it's your show.
All right. 2 days after
Good day,
Nathaniel
Which one are we just going to read? It's like
release, Louis C.K. won a Grammy for Best Comedy Album for Sincerely, Louis C.K., filmed in Washington, D.C. in March 2020 and released to fans on his personal website a month later. I've seen it. It's funny. The Grammy win comes 4.5 years after multiple women in comedy made allegations of
Wait.
sexual misconduct against C.K.
How does that happen? I thought you win a Grammy like a film, like you put it out this year, it's eligible for this year. How does it happen?
So I guess they had some type of COVID exception.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
have it. Actually, no, they did have the Grammys last year
They
because they had Bill Burr there doing the whole thing, trying to say all these Spanish names and different things.
Oh, and people got pissed at him. Yeah.
Yeah,
People also got pissed because they're sitting there going, how the fuck are you guys having a big party, basically an award show, and you've locked everybody else down?
What was it? This, yeah, causing him to issue a demonstrative apology in which he vowed to step back and take a long time to listen. The title of CK's special might lead you to believe that it, like Rothaniel, contains a key to his content. That CK is perhaps ready to level with audiences about his conduct and open up about what changed since the scandal. Instead, he seems to armor himself against a world he's decided to do battle. Yes, the world, not a group of cuckoo banana feminists, but the world. In conversation with Rothaniel, wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
In conversation with, this is weird.
Rothaniel.
With Rothaniel, sincerely offers us a striking glimpse of how confessional comedy means very different things depending on who's doing the confession.
Do they mean in comparison?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying
I think
to.
they mean in comparison rather than in
Yeah.
Conversation.
That's why I stopped. I was like, wait, hold on, because it wasn't clicking for me.
No,
So
tell me when
this
they're
is
talking
this is
about
a
it.
perfect
It's different.
this is a perfect example of what's going on, because no time or no penance is ever enough,
Nope.
right? And that's it. You know, it's never enough with these people, and of course they get salty.
Like,
that
how
he's
long
actually-
do they want Louis C.K. to sit on the naughty stare?
Right.
And if he's
Exactly.
not
And
gonna,
then of
if
course,
he,
do you notice
But,
the whole
dude,
tone of this
he
article is
asked
like
if
they're
he
still
could touch
trying to.
himself. That's like a war crime. I mean, it's not like he
Exactly.
raped or did anything like that. That low on the totem pole. He
Oh
touched
no,
himself.
it's not like he nuked a country.
Yeah,
Right,
well,
but-
he didn't launch a missile at Iran. But anyway,
Right, but the thing is
Yeah,
his
man.
problem was like everyone else is he bent to them. You don't apologize.
well,
You
that's
just-
Yeah.
and this article is written like he still owes them an apology, as if they're
Yeah.
entitled to one. It's like, no, he's already given his bloody apology.
And
Piss
how
off.
Yeah, you didn't
dare,
accept it, so what next?
and how dare him do a special without crying and telling confessing even more during his special.
Yes, and continuing to
Yeah.
apologize 100 times over, even though you guys never want to accept an apology
Right.
anyway.
He needed to start off the special with looking into the camera, clearly that he's just turned on because he doesn't know how to edit it.
And just
Looking at
slap
the
on a
camera,
black and white filter. Don't forget
black
to
and white
slap a black
filter,
and white filter.
starting
and
off
say,
going,
I take responsibility.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I love
take
is when
responsibility.
it's an empty chair and you see them walk into frame to sit down on the chair. That's a good one.
Oh Christ!
Either that, or they're streaming someone else's content on Twitch.
The hugely delayed nature of the Grammys, delayed even more thanks to COVID-19, means watching Sincerely now, 2 years after its release, feels like a anachronism.
Anachronism.
So,
No, I
so
think-
this bitch,
I
so
think
this
it's
bitch has
pronounced
had 2
anachronism.
years. Hang on. So this bitch has had 2 years to react to this show, and she's only
Well,
just now.
By the way, and I think it's a
Watched
he,
it.
and I think
She didn't give a shit until Louis got
the Grammys.
praised
Hang on,
for it.
hang on. Let me
Exactly.
All
see.
of
Is
it.
it a he or a she?
Exactly. Hang on. Let's
Okay.
check. Hang on.
Oh, this isn't gonna help you.
Aja.
Aja Romano.
Or it could be
either way.
Aya.
Could
Could be.
it could go either way.
Well,
Just
either
like
or.
Aya.
I'm assuming. Look, I'm assuming we've either got a feminist or a male feminist, which is
Right.
probably worse.
Worse, yes.
Yeah.
Well, one of them's
But
sneaky.
safer.
Either way, he, she,
Safer to be
them.
around.
Yeah, he, she, them is only just. Yeah, it's got 2 years. The show's been out
Right.
for 2 years, and they're only just now.
Well,
Reacting
the
to
the
it.
response is more to the Grammy win rather than the special itself.
Well, even so.
Because we'll see. All right. CK's performance was just days prior to the beginning of the 2020 lockdown for an audience that perhaps understood the concept of an enclosed confessional space very differently than Carmichael's intimate nightclub audience
Last
did
time
2
I
years
checked, a
later.
comedy club. Last time I checked, a comedy or jazz club wasn't supposed to be a safe space. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, but I think Chris Rock just found that out.
Well, so did that other chick that said something about the rapper and he went up on stage and tried to slap her.
Who's that?
I
Who
want.
knows?
no,
I'm
no,
gonna
not
buy his
them.
album.
Look,
Not Amy
look, I
Schumer.
want to say Amy Schumer, but that's probably just wishful thinking.
I don't even know who it was. The contrast between the two shows couldn't be more striking. Carmichael softly working through his coming out process to a small venue of often utterly silent listeners.
Instead of a therapist.
CK greeting a crowd of 1,500 people who gleefully applaud his every dictum on disability, gay sex, and his sexual misconduct. You know what I see as the contrast? You have one that's not funny and everyone's just like,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and nobody.
and the other one
literal
people are
nobody.
cracking up. Yeah.
And good choice of the word dictum when referring to all that thing.
Throughout his decades of stand-up, and especially during the run of his once influential TV show, Louis, CK favored material that tended toward observational empathy with self-deprecation, always tempered by a basic layer of goodness. Jokes about
Look,
dating for
I haven't tasted this much salt since I got dumped at Warren Beach.
with jokes about for instance, looked honestly at women's reasonable fear of men. Jokes about plain Wi-Fi were fundamentally about how good we all have it. CK could be honest about his worst impulses because they were always tempered by his and humanity's best. This dude had a boner the entire time he wrote this. He's like, "Oh, this is fucking good."
Wait,
Oh, I
is this
love
an
it.
anti Louis C.K. one or a pro one? Because I'm getting mixed messages.
Well,
Because they're
that's
doing
through
it
the
back and
decades.
forth, but that's
That's
the
through the
problem. is
decades.
They're going back. This writer's
But
going back and
here we go.
forth.
Following his disgrace,
Like
numerous critics discussed how CK had built up a level of trust that allowed his audience to accept his darker material as part of the struggle of a man who shared their basic sense of morality. CK then destroyed that trust, at least for some, when he admitted to years of masturbating openly in front of many women in comedy. That destroyed that trust. CK did
I
this.
don't get it. How the hell did he destroy that trust when he openly asked those women if he could masturbate in
Well,
front of them?
And then
All right,
when they
here you
said
go.
no,
And they let him.
yeah.
He's about to explain that, or they are about to explain it. CK did this without their enthusiastic consent.
Oh, they
Not
had
just-
consent, just not enthusiastic consent.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. Or, in at least some cases, without any apparent consent.
Any proof of that?
I think that one in particular was apparently he masturbated while he was talking to someone on the phone.
what?
Wait, not even, he's not even pulling, what's his name? Ruben?
Yeah, Tubin.
Tubin, that's it.
God, these guys, Tubin, what a fucking dumb name.
Did we ever get a calendar? Is there enough for a calendar? All right, let's see here. What was I? Oh, yeah. Once the less than empathetic nature of his in-person interactions was revealed, it seemed that his performance of empathy was over too. Instead, something uglier snuck in. 9 months after his promise to listen, he resumed performing, with his comedy taking a pronounced turn towards the
Hold up,
reactionary.
I think you missed something here. It says after at least one incident, his manager
I did
allegedly
miss that.
attempted to silence some of the women.
Was that
Not
to do with
Louis
him?
C.K., but his manager.
Yeah, what does that have to do with him?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see here. What was that? Oh yeah, he resumed performing with his comedy, taking a pronounced toward. Yeah, during
Again, how dare he come back so soon? Again, how dare he keep existing? How dare he continue to make a living?
How dare he do his job?
Yes, during leaked club appearances from late 2018, he mocked Parkland survivors, non-binary teens, and the loss of the R word. That last one made it into the Grammy-winning special.
Yeah, I miss being able to call people retards.
I guess go with Fatata now. Like if you're gonna know
Fatata?
you- Yeah.
No, but I get hungry, and then I also get a little bit racist against Mexicans, so I don't like that one.
What the
Uh,
hell?
Calm
Sincerely,
down, Jorge.
I just stick to the good old fashioned half wit and deal with that.
sincerely
never go
seems to
full
be
Hey, are
primarily
you going to
about
talk about? Are you going to ask the Aussies about the fuel hack? I mean, we keep seeing it.
oh man, I'm hungry. I'm trying to get through this article. About
Look, the only hack I have, and I'm pretty sure Grant and Nick will back me up on this, is to keep the drop bears away. You need to smear a little bit of Vegemite on your neck, and then the drop bears will leave you alone.
I've never had Vegemite, but I've seen it
I don't want
in
it.
several places.
You'll
I
want
wanna,
a lot of that.
I want to try it once.
Don't eat
Yeah,
it with a
you-
spoon. It's not Nutella. You'll die.
What do you mean? Don't eat it with a spoon. I see.
I mean, you
like,
can if you want.
Look, you can
may.
eat Vegemite. Yeah, that's right. Of course, you may eat Vegemite with a spoon. I mean, nobody's going to stop you.
but
but,
how are you supposed to eat it?
Oh,
You
that's
spread
funny.
it thinly on toast.
Yeah, spread thinly on
Very
toast.
thinly.
But I'm not a bitch. I actually don't spread it with butter. I have it straight up.
Straight
So,
up. Boy,
And what's it taste like?
Salty.
Yeah, very, very, very salty. And then
But
if you
like
hang
it-
around long enough without pulling faces, there's an ever so slightly sweet aftertaste.
Okay.
Mm.
Interesting.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of fermented yeast extract.
No, not at all.
It's not bad. It's not. You have it, in little
Look,
quantities.
the best, I think, if you want to go slightly pretentious, the taste is umami. It's very salty,
It's
very
very- yeah.
savory. Yeah, very salty, very savory, and then there's like a little sweet aftertaste, and it's nice, thinly spread on toast, particularly fresh bread. It's lovely.
Okay.
Oh, and
Welcome
if
back
you
to
wanna
commun.
soften- If you want to soften the
Fundamentally-
taste a little bit, just a little bit of butter is fine as well.
Yeah, the butter will soften the taste. a
Yes,
little
but don't
bit.
use fucking margarine, you savages.
No.
Yeah, margarine's not butter.
Welcome back to Jelly, Peanut Butter, and More, where we talk about all the things you can spread on bread. This week, we talk about Australian spreads. Like Nano Night? I don't know what it was called. I wasn't listening. Anyway.
Nanette might. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
so-
Vegemite, except more gay.
Oh,
The
bitch.
last thing I want to
Nanette-
see is
well,
Harry Gatsby spread.
Look, Nanette Mite is actually, just like Vegemite, but with more yeast, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's more yeasty. It actually used to be known as Vegemite, but
By the way, that's a pretty good name. Jelly, Peanut Butter, and More. For
More-
a podcast about different spreads.
about spreading things.
Yeah.
I guess
Sincerely.
you're spreading.
Seems to be primarily about insincerity. His, ours, and how foolish we'd have to be to expect anything else. He talks about wishing he could be meaner. He calls his audiences hypocrites for pretending to be morally horrified by some tasteless jokes, but not others.
Do you know
He
what?
says
He's probably right to do so. He's probably right to do so.
He says he hates New York, where he lived from at least 2006 until the implosion of his career. He makes fun of Orthodox Jews, Islam, and Japanese restaurant workers. He fantasizes.
So what you're
He's
saying
a
is
comedian.
he jokes about a lot of different people.
He's
Yeah.
being a
Equal
comedian and
opportunity.
he isn't targeting anyone in particular. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, he's an
About
equal
Christian-
opportunity offender.
The
Exactly.
illusions of modest shopkeepers, where once he might have pulled out a heartwarming humanist kicker, sincerely seems to be about establishing CK and in his audience's lack of empathy as the default. There's no
Ah.
longer a collective wish for something higher. There seems to be nothing higher left to aim for.
This writer
Oh,
is,
get
I'm
over
just gonna
yourself,
say it.
Michelle.
This writer is a sanctimonious piece of shit.
Yeah. How would they deal with Lenny Bruce?
Oh,
Oh.
God forbid.
That would be the ones arresting him. That's the
Yeah.
honest truth. That would be the ones that would be coming in and arresting him. He
Because
couldn't
he
say
had-
that.
He
said
had
the
no
N-word.
mercy. Yeah.
At one point during the special, CK wonders if gay people might not prefer the days when gay sexuality was more of a taboo. That's, by the way, that like Oscar Wilde. I don't know if he said this or if it was an improv show I was watching, but I'm pretty sure like he said
Yeah.
like he missed those days because it's
Dildo's-
not as much
yeah,
fun
Dildo's
when
got
it's
it right. He lost all of his empathy because of you, cunts.
Is there not somehow an illicit thrill in the deviance of queerness? He wonders. Or if you want,
Considering how many people are identifying as trans and queer nowadays, in order to play the victim Olympics or the oppression Olympics, I wouldn't be surprised if there is some form of quote unquote thrill in the quote unquote deviance.
actually, yeah, it's different now because it was like this idea of like, ooh, we're doing something that's not allowed to now
Yeah,
like
it's not about-
doing like,
again,
ooh, I'm
it's-
doing something to be persecuted.
What do you call it? It's not about what's the phrase? I can't remember it. But it's not
I mean,
about
I mean, don't
No,
get me
it's not
wrong.
about- it's not
No
about,
one, no
um,
one is identifying as something as bourgeois as a lesbian or gay, right? No, you have to be quote unquote queer or gender non-conforming
Tra-
or
Tra-
non-binary
transracial by
or
something or
trans,
other.
Yeah, exactly.
racial,
You
other
have to have-
kin, two-spirit,
you have to have all the labels, and it's not about again.
pre-self.
It's not about It's not about actual.
Hey, you leave Wally West alone.
Exactly, and it's not actually about genuine oppression or genuine hardship
Sean.
or adversity, right? It's not actually about any of the genuine examples of any of these things. This is all about being transgressive, being edgy, being trendy. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I had someone who is queer straight. Like I can relate to a lot of these things. You know what I mean? Or
I'm
hetero
still-
queer.
Oh, I'm super straight. Damn it.
Super straight.
Yeah, I'm hetero queer.
Yeah.
No, I think Dildo summed it up
You're
quite
muted,
nicely.
George.
Every time a thing becomes mainstream, it
I
becomes
was
lame.
muted.
Yep, absolutely. That's why they've got to invent these new things. I mean, we all know all this non-binary crap came straight from Tumblr. We all know this. No one wants to admit it, but that's exactly where it came from. And
Stupid
I thought
Tumblr
it came from
porn off
porn.
there.
I thought it came from porn and Tumblr.
oh, that
But
too.
taken in this
Either or.
context,
Just Tumblr.
Okay.
But
let's
eventually
see.
people will get bored of it. People will get bored of it, and they'll invent something new to bitch in and be oppressed about, apparently.
What could be worse than that? I can't even imagine.
Or if you want to
Well-
look at it through another lens, from knowing people think you're less human as a result of your sexual orientation. Wait, what?
What?
Wait, or if you want to look at it through another lens, from knowing people think this is what the thrill, you're less human as a result of your sexual orientation. I mean, that is still like artificial thrill that you're. Anyway, as a joke in isolation, is thoroughly whatever.
Wait, did you just say a few minutes back you did a comedy bit? Like a stand-up? Did I misunderstand that?
I didn't say that.
I thought you did.
No, I did.
I'm
Just to
getting
cover
too tired.
Darius
I'm
here.
getting
Just
too
to cover
tired.
Darius, yeah, I get the joke here.
Oh.
And I just want to add a little disclaimer. This is not to say that there aren't actual people suffering in the world or facing actual oppression. I'm just saying these whiny Gen Zers aren't it. That's it.
Oh, because they're virtue signaling. There's nothing real about their.
Yeah, that's it. It's all to do with social currency. It's all to do with getting clicks on Twitter. I mean, there are people actually out there who are genuinely suffering. People who are poor, people who are disenfranchised, people who actually experience, say, gender-based and race-based oppression. I'm talking the genuine stuff,
Yeah,
right?
real.
But anything, if you're tweeting this from a friggin' $500 phone, I'm not interested. Go away.
Oh, Sam, it's more like $2,000 iPhone.
Yes, made in a Chinese sweatshop. Go away. That's all I'm saying.
Agree.
Grant got to go, man. Thanks for dropping by, brother.
Hey,
Oh, good.
Grant?
Yeah, I got some stuff to do. I was only going to stick around for 15 minutes, but it was.
Well, I wish you
What-
my best.
Real quick, can you stay, because this may be my favorite line of the article.
Okay.
Just this last line, okay. But taken in the context of Sincerely as a whole, it's a dick joke masquerading as an indictment, as a suggestion that queerness is a clever joke being played on the rest of us, and that queer people are somehow in on it.
Yeah,
That's a
that
bit
makes
of a
sense.
reach.
Does that make
More
sense?
of a-
I
more
don't
like
even
a
think that
reach
makes
around.
sense.
Anyway, so
Yep.
I didn't want you to miss that, but thanks for dropping by, man.
Oh, good. I'm actually going to be streaming my wedding tomorrow on my channel. So.
Are you?
Oh, are you really?
Yep. So.
Does she
yeah,
know
I-
this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you streaming the honeymoon?
Yes,
Sure.
George. It's on
It's
my
a
only.
joke.
It's on my OnlyFans.
Boy, you're lucky Vox didn't hear that. You would have your own
Yeah.
article.
I know Grant knows I was joking, but I
Yeah,
wish
yeah,
you
yeah.
the best, brother.
Oh, you were okay. Well, I'm not going to put on my
Many bu-
OnlyFans then. Fuck it.
Many blessings to you and the bride to be.
Yeah, see you later.
All right. See
The,
you guys.
See, brother. All right. For Louis C.K., sincerity now involves reconfiguring the world as complicit in his dishonesty and ultimately as complicit in his misconduct.
That's
Well,
because
yes,
it.
people aren't
That's
perfect.
because it is though. Because all of this virtue signaling nonsense is pure bullshit. It's pure vanity, and he's calling that out.
Meanwhile, in Carmichael's soliloquy, ooh, I got that one. One
Oh,
of
don't
his
you miss
close.
something?
You don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to know who your real friends are, CK says early in the special. It's never who you want it to be. The obvious probing point about why some of CK's better friends left him, and what kind of atonement might be necessary to restore their esteem goes unmade. Meanwhile, in Carmichael soliloquy, I said it better the first time, damn it. One of his closest friends tells him he felt tricked into having a gay best friend. Because despite CK's best efforts, the world he's tried to reframe still threatens the most vulnerable people in it. Carmichael's reckoning with his queerness, his family's mixed reactions, the distance he feels from his mother, his internalized homophobia and fear, and the idea that secrecy and shame can become generational trauma makes that abundantly clear.
I wish people would stop using the word queerness.
While both men are angry, stinging from private betrayals, Carmichael doesn't externalize his discomfort in the same way.
Yes,
No,
he
no, no.
does.
He's
Well, not in
better.
the same way, but he's certainly externalizing it. He's putting his entire audience through an hour's worth of friggin' psychological torture by trying to therapize himself and them.
Bro, you really think it was only an hour? Shit.
Well, I'm
That may be
hoping
what
it's
the,
only an
that
hour.
may be
Wishful
what made
thinking.
it to air. Perhaps that's because much of this is new and raw, but perhaps it's also because externalized anger is costlier, riskier for Black queer men in America than it is for the average disgruntled white guy. Hey,
There
fun
it
fact. Fun fact. Louis C.K. is not white. In fact,
Yeah.
his people come from Hungary. He's Jewish.
Hungary?
Something like that.
Hungary.
No,
Hungary.
Hungary. He's not from Hungary.
Hungarian. Yeah, he's
He's
from
from
Hungary.
somewhere that sounds like
Hungarian.
Hungarian.
Not
Wait.
Romania.
No, not Romanian. I forgot what it is. Anyway, and he, by the way,
It's
he
an
also grew up
Aryan.
in Mexico.
What does that have to do with him growing up? Like, you think that kind of leeches into him?
No, because I just read a sentence that you weren't listening to at the end, called him a disgruntled white man. And what I'm saying
I
is,
heard
not
that
only is he
part.
Jewish and Hungarian and Mexican.
And a hurt like
Darius, to answer your question, I would rather stick pins in
Ooh,
my
I was
eyes
right.
than write for Vox.
I agree.
See,
with
I
you.
was right. Anyway, yeah. So the whole white thing is anyway. Carmichael's comedic honesty is born, in other words, from the kind of desperate need for freedom and self-expression that CK's revamped comedy now seems
Freedom
to.
and self-expression, or validation and
Narcissism.
solipsism. Pick one.
Denigrate. Having lost the favor of his original audience, but still amassing a huge amount of patrons, wealth, and power, CK chose to rewrite the world that disowned him rather than rewrite himself. Had he truly made good on his promise to step back and take a long time to listen, I think
Damn, how?
it's hard to fathom him reemerging with a worldview this cynical. But a byproduct
Really?
of his
Are they gonna play that dumb? Are they
It's
gonna
like,
play
really,
that
you
dumb?
tried destroying his career and
Right.
you didn't think he'd come back guns a-blazing?
oh, he is
No,
white
but you have
passing.
to remember they're using the Mamet principle. They're denying the reality so they can then be
Yeah.
shocked. Oh, wow.
But a byproduct of his weak analysis is that it makes a truly sincere inner reckoning like Carmichael's seem that much more profound in comparison.
Right.
Because see, it's not enough to lift up Carmichael as this revolutionary comedian who's doing something new by not having anyone laugh at him.
All right, I'm
Like,
gonna say something mean.
you have to
much
tear
did
down
this-
CK.
Look, how much did the writer of this article pay this so-called comedian to suck his dick?
Sounds like he may have done it for free. CK's Grammy win, not just on his face, but for this particular aggrieved album, underscores the entertainment industry's unwillingness to internalize many of the lessons of Me Too.
Ew, I hate that word, internalize.
CK's moment of realness, when he finally talks about his behavior near the end of his special, stays unsettlingly superficial, framing his behavior as an unfortunate miscommunication about a weird sexual kink. Damn his honesty.
Man, I
Man,
really
how much
don't
more
know
is
how
there,
to-
bro? Because I'm
Man,
so
this
hungry.
article is like forever.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pause it there.
Not much.
Where are you going?
I gotta eat, bro. I'm starving. All right, tell you what. If you can read, I'm gonna go turn on the oven and then I'll come back. So if you can read for me real
Okay, who's
quick.
the fast reader?
I am. He segues into this from his maybe gay people wish they were still taboo bit.
Oh,
That-
we've already done that part.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. Where do
Nikki,
you want?
roll down a little bit.
No, this is it.
I thought that's where we.
No,
I
no,
thought
that's
we'd
it. No, we haven't done this. It's sort of going back to what they mentioned a little bit earlier. So
Right.
this-
Oh, all right. No, sorry. Never mind. My mistake. My
Okay.
mistake. Go on.
So that fantasy of illicit kink was merely projection, of course. His ability to look honestly at human relationships, to see them through anything but his own lens, is shot. He gets a trophy anyway, sealing his absolute privilege over the women who are brave enough to.
Look,
name
I think
what
this
he
is
did.
a bit of a reach because it requires that you attack his motives, and
Right.
the writer is accusing him of having ulterior motives, and I think that's a bit dubious in and of itself.
Of course.
Well, how often do we see that they like even with the whatever that video, like the fridging and stuff, it was always like, you know, guessing at what their intent
guessing
was.
at people's intentions and motives and trying to
Yeah.
accuse them of ulterior reasons.
Right. Like I know what they were really doing, what they were really thinking, because I am, you know, educated on these type of things.
Yes.
'Cause
When
I'm-
the truth
I'm
of the
your
truth of the
better.
matter is, this writer doesn't know Louis C.K. from Adam.
No.
No. They just go, somebody was canceled. Okay, so they're automatically bad. Okay, so
And now we're going to, in bad faith, dissect and rip apart all of their motivations to make them look even worse.
And it basically just comes down because Carmichael is on you know, that side, he's good.
Oh yeah.
And since
even though
CK
he
is
sucks.
yeah, the quality doesn't matter. What matters is the ideology that they hold
Yep,
Mhm.
when it comes to this. And that was actually a really good point.
it was. You were
That
profound.
snuck up on me.
Profound. Okay, so he gets a trophy anyway, sealing his absolute privilege over the women who are brave enough to name what he did. For
Oh,
those
piss
women,
off.
yeah, I know. For those women seeing their stories reappropriated by the man who assaulted them and then stamped with approval by the Recording
Did he
Academy.
assault them? Hold up.
No.
Did he
No.
assault them?
But
No.
remember, they've
No.
equated language to violence. And silence
Well,
is violence.
so-
Language is violence. Everything is violence, and basically, if you disagree with them.
The last
Yeah.
article that we read about CK was a lot more careful with how they worded what he did. This one's like, fuck it, I'm
It's
already
like,
I'm
this
this
one,
deep
this
in.
one wants to be real careful before throwing around words like assault if they don't want to get
Yeah.
sued.
Right.
Uh,
Then stamped with approval by the Recording Academy, no less, must be the ultimate confirmation that nothing really changes.
And did these women actually have their careers ruined? No.
who knows?
We didn't. His wins
Were
suggest.
their careers even under threat?
No, I'm sure it made any of their careers if they had any because people knew who they actually were after it.
True.
Just because these articles came out. Now, if he actually did assault someone, we'd all be like, you know, that's
It'd be
horrible.
entirely different. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
but
would
he
be on his
didn't.
side even more. We were like, no, dude, like we get it. Bitches be crazy.
Dildo, you're absolutely right. The dude that wrote this article has some skeletons in his closet and
Oh, no
probably a
doubt.
woman.
No
Oh,
doubt.
Yes,
They usually
and
do.
and probably a woman or two locked up in his basement for good
Yeah.
measure.
Which, you know,
By the way, everyone
has
I'm still
good
waiting
qualities.
for something to come out on Matt McGorry.
Yes, I'm still waiting for that.
I don't know who Matt McGorry is.
Oh, the one who
Look,
suddenly
it's-
became
it's-
feminist
look,
after
he's-
watching.
Yeah, it's
Emma
dated a
Watson.
while. He was, shall we say, he was 2015's wokest bae.
Oh.
That's BAE.
Mhm.
And he apparently became a male feminist after watching
Overnight.
overnight after watching Emma Watson give some
Oh,
trite
come
speech.
on.
Anyway, I'm still waiting for something to blow up in his particular face because, oh my god, is he the very definition of
Of a tryhard.
of a tryhard smug
Mm.
asshole.
All right, where were we?
Can't wait. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm really hungry.
His win suggests that men of privilege like CK can afford to be disingenuous about what confessional comedy really is. This is just repeating over and over the same.
Yeah.
CK's kind of, why don't we just skip to the last
Okay,
paragraph? where
yeah,
this
let's
person
skip.
will
Let's
sum it
skip.
all
Let's
up.
skip.
Skip to the last paragraph where it all sums up.
That might be true. Is this the last one?
Yep.
But Rothaniel shows us that those at society's edges still seek truth, compassion, and healing, turning to
fuck off.
increasingly unconventional spaces as more traditional avenues for community and acceptance remain closed. Carmichael finds that healing on stage on a snowy night at the Blue Note, performing comedy as something like a new hybrid form of slow jazz improv. That achievement ultimately feels far more significant to comedy than the miserable laughs of Sincerely. One may have won a Grammy, the other feels
Oxymoron.
like a far more meaningful
Look,
reward.
I have a single recommendation for both the comedian and the writer of this article. Go and see a fucking therapist now.
Or get a life, because who knows therapists today? Most of
Oh,
them are.
man. But how
Yes,
great?
yes, and
How
avoid the
great is
affirming
that?
ones, for God's sake.
Oh, the other one, yes, sure, maybe classic, like classical funny, you know,
Well,
it may make people laugh, but it does not even begin to dive into queerness, into wow. I just can't, man. Anyway, alrighty. Hey guys, thanks for being here. George, thanks for coming in. Sorry you didn't get those coyotes. Sam, Nick, always great to have you on here. Everybody in the chat.
Yeah, it's always
Cynthia,
fun.
It's always fun to see
Darius,
everybody.
everybody.
Sam, Nick,
Yeah.
and Matt.
Make sure to check out his channel, not George's channel. He has enough people checking him out. By the way, I did see your outtakes, bro. I don't know if you saw my message over on comics, but I was like, dude, I may start doing that at the end
You should.
of some of my videos, man. Just throwing in some outtakes.
You should. People love it. People like that kind of, because it's real.
Well, all mine's real though. Like my bespoke and all that. That's all just me. Like it's right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I started talking about unicorn jizz,
That's you
that's me.
every day.
Yeah. Every day I'm unicorn.
You know what you should do once? You should take a video camera at night and go around the house and then put up a video. This is outside of comics. Just send it to him in his tweet.
That's funny, man. Yeah. Anyway, anybody has something important to say?
Nick and I have released a new video on our channel. If you haven't, please head over there and give it a watch. Your views are much appreciated. Give it a like, leave a comment, do all of that stuff. I'm pretty sure most of you have done that already, but please do. It's free. If you want, stick it on the background and mute. I don't care. But yeah, do give it a watch. We're trying to make sure it breaks double figures. And yeah, that's about it. And make sure you subscribe to everyone on this panel.
Awesome.
By the way, this is true. Most of the time, like especially my bespoke, I'll be like, Grant, you can edit it there, but I just leave it in. Anyway, all right, everybody. That's gonna do it here. We'll see you.
You're not gonna put out a new video? The animal monkey.
Yeah, I'm going to. I just don't know what animal. I got another bespoke coming out like on Monday. I'll be putting it out.
What's it on?
Boy, is it good, huh?
What's it on? So we can.
It's about whatever I got next in bespoke. You don't watch my bespoke videos?
I do, but you don't. You literally just do it off the cuff.
Yeah, dude. I just open the box and what's there.
Okay.
I do it, dude. I do everything.
I thought you got
Very
it
brave of
beforehand
you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, you think I pre-check them before I?
Yeah.
No, no.
Okay.
I guess whatever comes. You know what I mean? I just go with it. But
cool.
Like that whole unicorn jizz in the strippers. Like it just came to me.
Just out of the blue.
Just out of yeah.
Love
Anyway. All right, everybody. Bye.
Ta-ta.
Listen now, Mr. Kansas Law Dog. Law don't go around here. Savvy?
Hey, law dog, law don't go around here. And I say, law doggy, law don't go around here.
I want you to know it's over. Well, bye.
Oh shit! I was looking at something.